About 13 miles from downtown Atlanta, welcome to Truist Park. A great night for baseball ahead on the show. It's the Chicago Cubs going up against the Atlanta Braves. And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. And going for Atlanta, Spencer Strider. Singing, he's been outstanding and should be fun to watch.
Well, when you have a guy that can limit the opponent to very little run production, you have a great chance to win a ball game when he takes them out. He's just having an outstanding season so far. You hope he can maintain it, because if he can, he'll be in a nice conversation at the end of the year.
And this one is off and running. Oh, 1 down. Base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
Good start for him to this ball game tonight. And I always talk about get him knocking your first at bat. It just makes your confidence at such a higher level for the potential of having a big night.
Now the number 2 hitter, Michael Busch. 3 for 8 in the series coming in. And here's the strike. Hat on at first, nobody out. That one is absolutely belted, carrying well, and it is out of here. He circles the bases, his 9th homer of the year. The Cubs strike first. It's 2-0.
You can't ask for a better start than hitting a home run in your first at bat to give your team the lead. Power versus power right there, like 2 locomotives colliding. Who's going to win? Well, a really good job there by the hitter, getting the top hand working. Powers that fastball out of here.
Now it's Alex Bregman.
Seems like he's making contact with everything lately. Batting over 300 so far this month.
That one's in there, 0-1. Fastball for a strike.
Well, he's gotten ahead with 2 pitches down in the zone. He has plenty of options right here. He can go up, he can go away, he can add velocity, he can subtract.
Swing and a miss. And that's the first out. Nice recovery after giving up the homer. Time now for the Chicago Cubs lineup. Not the highest team batting average for this squad. They're down towards the bottom of the league in total hits, and Singy, because of that, they don't score a ton.
Yeah, and Boog, I'm looking for a little better performance out of them today. I mean, if they're going to be dangerous, if they're going to be able to create scoring opportunities, they're going to have to start making some individual adjustments. A lot of players in this lineup probably aren't happy with how they've hit the ball so far. So today's a chance to get something going.
Pete Crow Armstrong, batting with 1 down, takes a strike. That one sizzling on its way through to the outfield. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Right fielder,
and up next for Chicago, Seiya Suzuki. Now quick throw to first for Armstrong. Back on a dive. Swing and a ball popped up. Olsen. 2 down.
Batting sixth, second baseman, Nico Horner.
So here's Horner now. In there at the knees. It's 0-1.
Well, if he's going to steal second, you want him to go early in the count. That way he's not a distraction to the hitter at the plate. Go ahead and get it out of the way so the hitter can focus on the pitch.
Hot shot to first base, and he snags it to end the inning. Cubs had 2 on this homer. It's now a 2-0 ball game. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And now here's the starter for the Cubs, Shota Imanaga. What do we need to know here?
Boog, this guy usually turns in a very good outing. His teammates really enjoy when he's on the mound. Everyone seems to be loose, which can help the offense be a bit more dangerous. So if you look at the opposing lineup, they're hoping he doesn't just settle in. They want to make this an uncomfortable start from the beginning.
And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. Drilled in the air out towards right center. 1 up, 1 down. Okay, let's check out the lineup. And a big part of it, a guy with a great track record, Matt Olson.
He's one of the better home run hitters in the league this year. In fact, in the top 5 in homers in the National Leagues. Not missing many pitches. And I tell you what, when he gets his pitch, it goes a long way. Make sure you don't sleep on this guy if you're the pitcher.
Here is Ozzie Albies up to hit. 2 for 7 in the series so far. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. Shota, he has a reputation, I don't know, maybe a knack for working himself out of tough situations that he finds himself in. You know, you like that in a relief pitcher, but when you have it for a starting pitcher, a guy that can get out of a tight spot, that is pretty valuable. This one in the air right field. Suzuki on the move. Drops in for a hit. Couldn't run it down. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
And you won't see the skipper rush to get somebody up in the bullpen as soon as he starts to see some signs of trouble. This guy's earned a longer leash, and because of that, confidence grows with the players and teammates playing behind him that when things get a little rough out there, they know he'll find his way through it.
This looks like extra bases. Ozzie flying around third. And now they trail by 1.
Well, back within 1 as he brings home the run. Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap. And I'm sure he's going to be watching that one back on video because that's the kind of swing you want to bottle. So many positives that led to that knock.
Here comes Austin Riley.
He really needs to start making more contact, striking out nearly twice in each of the last 5 games.
That's outside, and that's ball 1. How much of the ability to do that in a tight spot is the mental approach?
I think it's very much being able to have a laser-like focus, slow everything down, stay right in that moment, pitch-to-pitch execution, and focusing on that catcher's mitt.
Strike 2. Stays alive. 1 out, the runner at second here in the 3rd and final game of the series. Ball. On the ground, right side. Horner tosses to first, and that's an out.
Batting fifth, catcher, Sean Murphy.
So here's Murphy now.
He's been such a good hitter with runners in scoring position. Some guys just take it to another level. For him right now at the plate, it's like everyone else is in slow motion, and he's in full speed.
comes the 0-1. And he swings through that one. Olsen at third with 2 away. On the ground, Horner tosses to first. That's the 3rd out. The Braves add 1 on the RBI double, and this is now a 2-1 ball game. You're watching Atlanta Braves baseball on the Show South. All set for the start of the inning. Now the Cubs catcher, Carson Kelly.
Four-seam fastball. High outside.
Singy wasn't very sharp in the first, got hit around a little bit, just wasn't able to locate particularly well. A lot of stuff in the fat part of the plate.
Yeah, Boog, he wasn't fooling anyone. It's a tough place to be because it's not always obvious what adjustments need to be made. Sometimes it's location, sometimes it's being too predictable. Sometimes you're tipping your pitches. He's going to need to figure it out quickly, though.
Assigned to home plate duty is Ricky Holiday.
Boog, and something I've heard players saying about Ricky's strike zone is how he will call the high strike. That could be something that's tough to deal with, especially if you've got a pitcher out there coming at you with high velocity.
Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. And a good start to the inning.
I'd say a mistake pitch in an 0-2 count. Too good of a pitch to hit right there. You have to expand the zone. Keep that leadoff man off first base.
And here comes Dansby Swanson. Hitless in the series so far. He's 0 for 7. Rudder takes off. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. Throws to first in time. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Batting ninth, pitcher Shota Imanaga.
So now with 1 away and a man at second, Shota Imanaga, the next Cub to hit. High fly ball lifted into the air right field. He's got it, and there's 2 down.
Up next for the Cubs, left fielder Ian Happ.
Back to the leadoff spot in the Cubs lineup. Ian Happ up to hit. He led off the game with a single and then came around to score.
If you're going to be a championship type of ball club, you've got to hit with runners in scoring position. And after last night's struggles, I'm sure this team is chomping at the bit to have this kind of opportunity here early in this game. Man, I mean, nice job just presenting it to be better than it actually was.
Four-seam fastball. Low outside.
Man on second, 2 down. And there's a foul ball. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball right side, and that one handled. 3rd out. 1 left for the Cubs. They lead it 2-1. We head to the bottom of the second. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Ha-Sung Kim.
This guy's usually not one to chase pitches off the plate, but he did there. We'll see if he can tighten up his zone a little bit.
The 0-1. 0-1. Misses just off the outside edge. I think that was a strike. Challenge from behind the dish here. And on further review, it was a strike. They'll keep both their challenges. Good job to fight that one off. Tap back to the mound. In time to Bush, and quickly one away in the second.
Left fielder Eli White.
Now the left fielder, Eli White. He's already set a new career best for stolen bases in a season, Chris. In the air to left center, Crow Armstrong settles underneath it, and there's 2 down.
Batting 8th, center fielder Michael
Here's the center
Harris
fielder,
II.
Michael Harris II. And that skips in the dirt. In the air, left field. And that is foul.
Ball, that's out.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2. Fastball is outside. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Two down, nobody on. Hit on the ground to short. Swanson. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. It's the Cubs 2 and the Braves 1. Welcome back. Let's take a look at how the series has played out so far.
Michael Bush.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
Close, but called a ball. Ball 1.
Boog, it looks like somebody missed the swing sign. That's the first pitch this team's taken for a ball all game long.
Hey!
Check swing called strike. That's strike 2. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, I don't think there's a hitter alive that hasn't at some point succumbed to that pitch right there. It just looks like it's in the zone the entire way, and then the top spin and gravity take over in the blink of an eye, and it's just such a tough pitch to lay off of.
Here's Alex Bregman. He's 0 for 1. Fastball for a strike at 95.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
Check swing, and he went. That is strike 2.
Really nice slider right there, sweeping across the dish, but just couldn't hang the edge.
Low outside.
The other way, and he beats the shift. So a man aboard now with 1 away.
Up next for the Cubs, Center fielder.
Pete Crow Armstrong down. His dad, Matt, grew up a huge Cubs fan and passed that fandom along to PCA. When Pete was a young kid, he'd either have his dad take him out back to play baseball, or he'd put him in front of the TV and watch the Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game from 1998. The 1-0. And the slider just misses. Catcher challenge. We'll take another look. So the call stands. One challenge remaining for them now. Hit on the ground, might be two. There's one. Over to first, safe.
Up next for the Cubs, right fielder Seiya Suzuki.
So digging in, Seiya Suzuki. He's 0 for 1. First pitch, and he just misses. Looked like a strike to me, and here comes the challenge. It just shaved the zone. So they get to hang on to their second challenge. Crow Armstrong off of first with 2 away. Next offering is fouled back. Check swing on an 0-2. Appeal to first. Didn't go. Fights that one away. Still 1-2. Popped up. And that is that. Cubs leave one, but they still lead it 2-1. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
Spencer Strider.
Ball.
Swings through that one out in front that time.
Didn't recognize off speed. Thought it was fastball. A little bit out in front.
Next pitch inside. And the count is even 2-2.
It seems like it can be really hard at times for pitchers to throw the ball right down the middle. They're so used to working on the edges, but then you have a guy up like this. He can't hurt you. Just throw it down the middle.
And a swing and a miss. And there's one away.
First strikeout for him in this one. That splitter is maybe the go-to pitch when he's looking for a swing and miss like that. He throws it quite a bit, and that's a good example of the effect it can have on a hitter.
Here's Ronald Acuna Jr. He wrote a terrific piece before the season that detailed his love for baseball.
Yeah, he and his friends would play at the beach, in a huge lot behind the hospital, or out on the street. All they needed was a newspaper and some tape, and they were ready for a game.
This one in the air, center field. Crow Armstrong gets under it. And there's 2 down.
Up next for the Braves, second baseman
Ozzie Albies up to the plate. 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored so far. Hey! Gets him to chase after that one.
The high fastball, particularly for young hitters, can be hard to lay off of because you see it so well at eye level, but it's really hard to catch up and get that top hand to work on time.
That one ripped left field. Happ ranging back on it. Caught just shy of the wall. Nothing doing here this half. 3 innings complete. It's the Cubs 2 and the Braves 1. This is Braves baseball on the Show South. Welcome back as we take a peek at the starting pitching so far this year.
This guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
Check swing. No appeal. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a big swing and a miss.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
This one in the air, right field. And he can't quite get there. It's a foul ball. Two down. That one just misses. Hit softly on the ground to third. In plenty of time to first. That's the first out in the top of the 4th.
Up next for the Cubs, catcher Carson Kelly.
And now the batter is Carson Kelly. Picked up a base hit to center his first time up. Hey! This ball's chopped on the ground. Riley. Over to first. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th.
Up next for the Cubs, shortstop Dansby Swanson.
2 down, bases empty. Dansby Swanson digs in now. Grounded out his first time up. The 0-1.
Ball 1.
Four-seam fastball.
Two down, nobody on. Foul ball there.
Four-seam fastball. Middle outside.
Got him. And he's registered 3 Ks in this one. Nothing happening there for the Cubs as they're unable to add to their 2-1 lead. Back at Truist Park, now in for the Braves, Matt Olson.
Matt Olson.
He's been pitching well, but we'll see what kind of adjustment the hitters make this second time through the order. We'll know if he's got really good stuff in this one or not.
The 0-1. There's a swing and a miss. That one outside. Ball 1. Down to the dirt, swing and a miss. On to first, gets him. One away on a drop third strike.
Up next for the Braves, third baseman, Austin Riley.
Here's Austin Riley. And a foul ball. Home team down a run. We're here in the bottom of the 4th.
Ball.
Almost got him. And a foul ball, he stays alive. Good battle here, about to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And that's outside. 3-2 now. Battling here as he fouls it away. And a payoff pitch. On the ground right side, and it goes just foul. Fights it off, he'll see another. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Up next for the Braves, catcher, Sean.
And here's a look at how he's using his pitches in this one. Here's Sean Murphy. Grounded out his first time up. Yeah, that's fouled off. chop off the middle. That's a base hit. Now the Braves have the tying run in scoring position.
Up next for the Braves, the shortstop.
Here's the shortstop at the plate. Ha-Sung Kim grounded out back to the pitcher his first time. That's a bullet, but it goes foul. Murphy off of first with 2 away. And a swing and a miss there.
Quickly in an 0-2 count, you've got to figure out a way to shorten your path to the baseball. Put it in play somewhere, then you got a chance.
That's ball 2.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. So 1 hit is all they get. We played 4. It's the Cubs 2 and the Braves 1. Welcome back as we take a look at how today's starting pitchers have fared so far.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
Ball, that's outside.
Four-seam fastball.
The 1-1. Swings through that one for strike 2.
That's a ball.
Four-seam fastball. Outside.
2-2 now. Struck him out swinging. And that's 4 strikeouts.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Digging in is the switch inning outfielder Ian Happ. Singled and scored back in the first. He's 1 for 2.
Hey!
Four-seam fastball. Low outside.
0-1 now.
Ball 1.
Four-seam fastball.
Strider deals. On the ground to third. Zips it to first. And the first 2 set down to the top of the 5th.
First baseman, Michael Bush.
2 outs, base is empty. Michael Bush, the next Cub to hit. He's already homered in this game.
Low inside.
That slider breaking in can be a tricky pitch. If you don't finish it and have that bite at the end and it stays out over the plate, it can get hit a long way. But that was a good one right there.
That clips the inside corner for a strike.
0-2 count, both pitches on the inside part of the plate. Hitter is thinking, I don't want to get beat here. This is a good time for something off speed away.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Foul ball left side. He'll see another.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
2 down, nobody on. Swing and a miss. Strider gets the strikeout. It's the Cubs 2 and the Braves 1. Welcome back. Let's check out what's been happening of late. Really been struggling.
Eli White.
Line to right, base hit. And the tying run is on base.
Well, that may end up being an at-bat we go back to later on when this game is over. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Here's the center fielder, Michael Harris II. Swing and a miss, strike one. Tying run is at first. Last half of inning number 5. Runner on the goal. Swing and a miss. Safe at second, and that was not close. And the tying run is now in scoring position.
That's a really good job of laying off the 0-2 high fastball. Is going to make that pitcher really have to respect this hitter, even though he's behind in the count.
Ball.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Thought it was a pretty good pitch. Top of the strike zone. We're seeing more fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
So now with 1 away and a man at second, here's the pitcher, Spencer Strider. That clips the corner. Late on that fastball.
So now it's all about protect mode. Try to shorten up, try to track the ball, block it if you have to as far as just a late.
Got him swinging for the strikeout. Went back to the fastball, and it was effective.
Well, that at-bat seemed to be over as soon as it started. 3-pitch strikeout. You've got to be better at the plate right there, at least to foul something off, extend that at-bat.
And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. Outfield playing very deep, not wanting anything over their heads. On the ground to short. Swanson fires over to first. And that's the inning. Braves strand 1. They're down 2-1. Back here in a close one, and a look now at some of the biggest plays from the game. at the plate,
Leading
Alex
off for the
Bregman.
Cubs, third baseman, Alex Bregman.
Four-seam fastball.
And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes.
Four-seam fastball.
Worm burner into the outfield for a knock. And they have their first base runner since the third inning.
Up next for the Cubs, center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Pete Crow Armstrong. 1 for 2. And that's a base hit. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
Up next for the Cubs.
Kind of a risky pitch coming inside with the breaking ball like that. You have to bury it. Otherwise, it's not too difficult to get the bat to it like he did that time.
High leverage spot, and here is Seiya Suzuki. Check swing, but it's put in play. Down the line, and it's foul.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
The 1-1. Late with the swing there. And a ground ball to first. Fair ball. Here comes Bregman around third. He'll score. It's an RBI single, and they lead by 2.
Well, he comes through clutch with the RBI single. That was big. He was definitely late on that pitch, but he didn't get beat. He got the bat on plane and just kept his hands tight to shoot it down the first base line for the knock.
So runners at the corners, nobody out. Nico Horner will hit next. That one misses, and that is ball 1. And an ABS challenge coming from behind the dish. It just shaved the zone. They'll keep their remaining challenge. The Cubs trying to break this one open, and we're in the top half of the 6th. On the ground to third. Feeds to second, out there. They get the out, but the run scores in the twin killer. And next for the Cubs, Carson Kelly. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a miss as he was out front.
He finds himself in a tough situation early. Just got to try to simplify it. Take a knock the other way if you can.
2 down, nobody on. Line drive, knocks it down. Throw on to Olsen, and that's the third out. 2-3-4 due up in the home half of the 6th. The Cubs lead this one 4-1. You're watching Atlanta Braves baseball on the Show South. Back here in Atlanta, so now to the plate for Atlanta, Ozzie Albies.
Ozzie Albies.
You know, these Braves finding ways to get on base, but they still need help driving them home. They've had their chances with runners in scoring position, but nobody's been able to deliver a big hit in those situations.
Swing and a foul out of play.
And you got to give some credit to the other side as well. They've been able to get out of a few tough jams, but frustration is mounting for this offense, no doubt.
Check swing didn't go. Now 1-2. That one missed. This one in the air center field. And there's one away.
Up next for the Braves, first baseman.
Here is Matt Olson. 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the first. That's inside.
Hey! Ball, that's out.
This one smoked on its way out of here. Matt Olson blasts one out. His 11th of the year, and they close the gap. It's 4-2. Singy, that's his 299th career homer.
Yep, closing in on a pretty big career milestone. 300 will be extremely special. When you're lacking velocity, it's so critical that you move the ball around, change speeds, even try to trick the hitter at times. But when you give up a home run right there, manager doesn't have a lot of patience because the velocity is not there to overcome and get the swing and miss.
Here comes Craig Counsell, and we're going to see a pitching change. Shota Imanaga won't go any further. Pretty good effort, and he exits with a lead. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we get back.
Now pitching for the
They
Cubs,
turn things over to the
number
southpaw,
41,
Bobby Milner.
Bobby Milner.
He's into the game with the bases empty. Here is Austin Riley. To the right side, Bush. The flip to the pitcher covering. 2 away now.
Up next for the Braves, catcher Sean Murphy.
Sean Murphy gets a chance to hit. And first offering is fouled off.
So important to get ahead of these hitters. You don't want to issue a free pass and allow that tying run to come to the plate. Always want to keep that other team in a position where if they're going to beat you, they're going to have to do it with multiple hits. I don't think he was trying to miss by that much in an 0-2 count. Just tried to overthrow that pitch.
Got him! Ricky Holiday with the call. Long ball draws the Braves closer. It's now 4-2. Back at Truist Park, we go to the top of the 7th. Well, he's been knocked around pretty good so far, but they've got him back out there at least to begin the inning.
Yeah, and you wonder just the strength and perhaps the health of that bullpen for him to go back out there.
Now pitching.
New pitcher for the Braves, Tyler
Number
Kinley.
45.
Well, he's been a really tough guy to take deep this season. You usually have to string some hits together in order to get to him.
Four-seam fastball. High middle. Let's go, Tyler.
And that's
That's a ball.
downstairs and outside. Check swing called strike. Strike one.
You know, these Cubs doing a good job of putting the ball into play, and that makes things more challenging on the defensive side. They've done a great job finding holes in the defense. Exactly half of their hits have come
Nope,
off the
that's off
bat
the plate.
less
Ball
than
two.
90 miles per hour. So the ball isn't exactly jumping off the lumber, but they're finding a way to make it work.
Here's a 2-1. And that drops in for a strike. That's to third. On to first. That's the first out, the top of the seventh.
Up next for the Cubs, pitcher Hobie Milner.
Craig
Pinch
Counsell
hitting for the
going with a
Cubs,
pinch hitter here.
number 9,
Miguel Amaya. Looking to start
Amaya.
something with one gone.
Four-seam fastball. High middle.
Fastball in for a strike. 0-1. Kinley, a very difficult guy to get hits off of. It's really rare for teams to string stuff together against him.
He wins every pitch, and for a hitter, sometimes a victory is just fouling off one of his pitches. Unless he beats himself, somehow can't find it, doesn't have the control command that day, you can pretty much forget about it.
Ball.
As a hitter, there's even more pressure to take advantage of any mistake, right?
Yeah, and you're hoping that, somehow, some way, whether it's a hit by pitch, a walk, something bad happens, because outside of that, his stuff is just too good to fail. And he's got deception in his delivery, and it's not that he's trying to deceive the hitters. He just has this natural flow that makes it hard for hitters to pick the ball up. It gets on them a little bit quicker than they anticipate, even though they know what the velocity numbers are.
The 2-2. And that
Ball, that's
just
low.
misses. Pretty close, but it was a ball. So that removes their last challenge. Struck him out looking.
He's got to throw any pitch at any count. 3-2. He goes off speed, gets the out.
Back to the top of the order. Now it's the switch hitting outfielder, Ian Happ. 1 for 3. Oh, he doesn't get the call. And that's ball 1. 2 down, nobody on. Here are the top half of inning number 7.
Let's go, Tyler.
Next offering is fouled back.
Four-seam fastball. High outside.
Check swing, but he went too far. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Ball 2.
Rip right field. That's back there. That one way back, and it's gone. Ian Happ bops one out of here. His 9th homer of the year, and they add to their lead. It's 5-2.
And that shot makes their grip on the lead even tighter. A breaking ball on the inside part of the plate requires a hitter to stay really square with his mechanics. If you fly open with the front shoulder, there's no way you keep that ball fair. An outstanding job mechanically. He deserves that home run.
So 2 down, Michael Busch, the next Cub to hit. He's already homered here in this one. Oh, look at the stop. Fires to first, and they get the out. Cubs tack on another with a solo jack. It's 5-2. Back after this on the show.
Now pitching for the Cubs.
We're back in a new pitcher
Number
here to start the
45,
bottom of the 7th. Hunter Harvey. Hasn't pitched in the last 3 days. Now in for the Braves, Ha-Seong Kim. The Braves in striking distance, but have some work to do.
Boog, it starts with the leadoff man. I need a good at bat out of him right here.
Yep, that ball went out.
And that drops in for a strike.
In this situation, you expect the batters to be a little more patient, possibly take until they get a strike. With that, you don't want to miss your opportunity to get ahead early in the count. He didn't right there.
Nope.
And it is 2-1. This one in the air, center field. Crow Armstrong under it. 1 down.
Up next for the Braves, left fielder
Eli White next up for the Braves.
White.
A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1. Outside.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Ball 1.
The guy at the plate could recognize slider out of the hand. Didn't stay in the tunnel very long in terms of depth and perception. He knew right away it was an off-speed pitch.
Swings through that one.
That splitty's a pretty nasty pitch. Explodes out of the hand. Looks like a fastball, and the bottom just falls out of it.
A little bit
That's
high,
ball 2.
and it's 2-2.
Just not taking the bait right there, but a good pitch with 2 strikes.
That
Ball,
one
that's off the
misses. And now 3-2. Struck him out without a swing. That was pretty nasty.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to stay on. You don't want to get beat inside, and as you see that pitch continue to run away from you, by the time it's in the catcher's mitt, you think it's a ball off the plate away.
Harris at the plate now, and that's strike 1. Two down, nobody on.
Ball inside.
The 1-2. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. In the air to left center. And makes the grab. That is the inning. Offense held in check there. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Cubs 5 and the Braves 2. This is Braves baseball on the show South. Welcome back as we take a look at their upcoming schedule.
Alex Bregman.
Here comes a new arm for the Braves, Grant Holmes.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
And that's in there at the knees for a strike.
Really good cutter that he's able to front door and back door. That pitch is devastating.
Just missed. Holmes measures 6 feet even. He features a slider, a four-seamer, a curve, a cutter, and he works in a changeup.
That's awfully close. I don't know how you take that. He's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well right now.
Swings and sends a rocket to right. One away.
Up next for the Cubs, center fielder.
And now the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong. Maybe expecting a bunt here. Third baseman playing in on the edge of the grass. And foul ball.
Ball, that's inside.
Line to second, snagged on the bounce. On to first. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 8th.
Right fielder,
Seiya Suzuki getting ready to hit.
With this kind of lead, he can swing freely. Try to hit the ball out of the park. Do what he loves to do.
Out front with the swing, and that is strike 1. Oh, great stop. Throw to first, and that's a nice play to end the inning. Cubs are down quietly. They're still out in front 5-2. Bottom 8, welcome back as we've got a pinch hitter, Dominic Smith.
Pretty surprised they're going with the pitcher off the bench here, Boog. I mean, they must be trying to save what they have left in terms of position players for later or something.
And that one fouled off. Now the 0-1. Ripped to first, caught.
He put a really good swing on that pitch and hit the ball hard. You know, line drives don't always find a hole, but the more you can hit the ball like that with good exit velo, the better off you're going to be in the long run.
Here's Acuna, 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a ground out. Fought off foul. The Braves trailing by 3 here the bottom half of the 8th inning. Foul ball still 0-2.
Ball in.
Got him swinging.
You know, Boog, you often think a slider is more for that horizontal movement, but most of the good ones have both vertical depth and that horizontal movement, and that's what we saw right there. Good drop on the break and got him to swing over the top.
Here comes the manager out of the Cubs dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Hunter Harvey done for the night. It's a 3-run game, and we'll be back to tell you about the new arm in a minute.
Now pitching for the
Daniel Palencia taking over on the mound.
Well, walks have certainly been an issue for him this season, so we'll see what kind of command he has.
Two down, bases empty, and now it's the switch hitting second baseman Ozzie Albies. That one at triple digits.
Just not able to catch up to that velocity.
Fly ball, pretty well struck right field. Going back. Grabs it right up against the wall. Braves are set down 1-2-3. They trail at 5-2.
Now pitching.
We're back. It's the top of the ninth, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Daysbel Hernandez.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Nico Horner will come up to hit. 0 for 3 in this one. Here's a swing and a line drive and a base hit into right field. And the leadoff man aboard.
Up next for the Cubs, catcher Carson Kelly.
So up next, Carson Kelly. Foul ball.
That two-seam fastball is usually coupled with a slider away, and when a hitter's conscious of the pitch in, it's hard for him to cover middle away, and that's where a pitcher can really finish off that batter.
The 1-1. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
Shortstop
Dansby Swanson stands in 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout.
Nope, outside.
The 1-0.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
Here's a 2-0. Right through there for a strike. The Cubbies trying to break this one open here at the top of the ninth. That one in for a strike. 2-2. And a strikeout for the first out here in the ninth.
Well, Boog, it becomes pretty difficult as a teammate when a guy's struggling like this. You don't know if you want to go up and tell him to keep swinging it or if you want to give him his space, what exactly he needs. But right now, it's clearly a struggle for him, and you're just hoping that somehow, some way it'll click, and he can get out of this as quickly as possible.
2 on, 1 out. In the air on the infield. And the infield fly is
batter's
called.
out.
Up next for the Cubs, left fielder Ian Happ.
Back to the top of the order now. Here's the Cubs leadoff man, Ian Happ.
Coming off an absolute bomb in his last at bat.
Oh, one.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. And now it's even 1-1. 2 on, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Man, I'm pretty impressed out there on the mound right now. I mean, these are tough spots where pitchers really got to bear down. Those last 2 pitches were well executed.
And it's fouled off. They'll do it again. The 1-2. Some heat there at 98 miles an hour. Cubs strand a couple, and it remains 5-2.
Now pitching for the Cubs.
We're back, and on the mound is the closer, Phil Maton.
Well, he's the guy they hope to turn to out of the pen to lock down wins. So this game has gone to plan, more or less. Let's see if he can wrap it up here.
3, 4, 5 due up for the home team. Here's Matt Olson down. He's on the verge of a milestone. His next home run will be the 300th of his career.
Inside,
You know,
ball one.
300 homers would be an amazing achievement for him. Fewer than 200 players have ever done it. Hit 300, you tie Chuck Klein. Hit 301, you tie Rogers Hornsby. I can't wait to see if he pulls it off.
Ball to strike. The pitch. That one fouled off. And they'll do it again. Got him. 1 out, bottom of the 9th.
Well, the first batter, it's always a big one for the closer. I mean, you get that punch out, you get settled in, you feel like you're in command out there on the mound from the jump, and kind of prevents any doubt from creeping into your mind or the fielders that are playing behind you that, you know, you're going to wrap this thing up.
Riley now at the plate as he swings through strike 1. And a swing and a miss. Sets him down on strikes. Braves down to their final out.
Well, it's kind of tough right here. Closer comes in and he strikes out the first 2 hitters. It's hard not to feel defeated and that this is going to go quickly. But you got to go up there, maybe trying to find a way to choke up on the bat, spread out, put the ball in play, and maybe you can extend this inning.
So it's their last chance in this one. Sean Murphy next up for the Braves. Now a move being made for a pinch hitter. Mike Yastrzemski looking for a 2-out spark with the bases empty. Yastrzemski in the box as he fouls off the first pitch. Two down, nobody on, and it's fouled away. Maton is just 1 strike away. Fouls it back with 2 strikes. The Cubs trying to close out a 3-run lead here in the last half of inning number 9. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and that is the ball game.
Well, this was a tightly played game. Got a little of everything. Some timely hitting, runs on the board, key pitching and defense in certain spots. Definitely a fun one to watch.
And your final score, 5-2. The Cubs go home a winner. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.